As the country faces renewed concerns over deportations and the latest arrivals fueled public fear and misinformation, experts warn without proper monitoring, those with serious criminal records could pose major challenges. Chantae McNeil continues.
It's a crisis. That's how criminologist Jason McNeil describes what could be return of over 5,000 Jamaican deportees, including those with serious criminal records. That could be the reality under U.S. President Donald Trump's new administration.
Some of the most dangerous of our criminals are overseas. I mean, just off the top of my head, I can think of a dozen that come from the St. Catherine South Division alone, that if they were to arrive back, there would be serious consequences. So you know what? It's a big problem, and it needs to be treated as a crisis, just like if we knew a hurricane was coming.
With growing public concern, McNeil is urging the government to extend the standard 48-hour screening period and introduce policy updates to prevent a potential surge in crime as these individuals reintegrate into society.
The government has to have the right to remand persons for longer than the requirement that we're allowed now. They should be allowed to be kept up to 90 days if the government desires, to properly investigate what we have. I'm not saying we're going to keep people for 90 days, and not everybody, but certainly you should have the power to do it, even if you don't choose to exercise the power. You must remember, under the American Homeland Security Act, they have indefinite remand as part of their powers. They don't necessarily exercise it very often, but they can exercise it if they desire.
But while security fears rise, McNeil cautions against painting all deportees with the same brush. He notes that many are returning due to immigration violations, not criminal activity, and should be given fair access to resources for reintegration.
It shouldn't even come up on your criminal record check unless it is for an actual crime, not for an immigration-related crime. It has to be for a felony or something serious. You can't just carte blanche ban that person from working in massive industries like the civil service and the security industry simply because they went abroad and had and violated the immigration rules of the United States. Then again, you must remember there was a time that we did this for persons who had ganja convictions. Now that has been changed, but the same token, it destroyed many persons' opportunities,
On Thursday, a plane carrying some 60 deportees landed in Kingston. Their arrival fueled widespread misinformation that tens of thousands of Jamaicans were being sent back at once. Foreign Affairs Minister Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith was quick to dispel the rumors, explaining that monthly deportations have long been routine, typically occurring on the last Thursday of each month. She reminded Jamaicans of the country's international obligations.
Jamaica, like most, if not all countries, has international obligations requiring us to accept the return of our citizens who are subject to deportation. As a responsible member of the international community and a respectful bilateral partner, we've always honored these obligations with appropriate attention to due process and human rights, as do other nations regarding the repatriation of our nationals who have violated our laws in Jamaica.
Chantae McNeil, CVM News.